Are you an owner-operator or the owner of a trucking company? If so, you need to be aware of the requirements of the DOT FMCSA Random Drug and Alcohol Testing Regulations. We'll take just a look at a few of the items in those regulations. Of course, consult with your compliance specialist or a CTPA like Labworks USA for a detailed look at what your requirements are. Let's look at who is required to participate in a random drug and alcohol testing program. The DOT FMCSA Random Drug and Alcohol Testing Program is mandatory for all commercial motor vehicle CMV drivers who are subject to the federal regulations under 49 CFR Part 40. This includes drivers of vehicles that have a gross vehicle weight or a gross combination weight of 26,001 pounds or more, vehicles that transport hazardous materials requiring a placard, or vehicles carrying 16 or more passengers, including the driver. Now, there are a few exceptions, so contact Labworks USA or your compliance specialist to make sure all your requirements are met. All right, now that we know who is required to be tested, let's talk about the different kinds of tests. The regulations state that you must be registered in a random drug and alcohol testing program at all times you're an active CDL holder. That means that at any time you could be told to take a random test by the carrier whose authority you're running under, or if you're an owner-operator, you'd be told by your consortium third-party administrator, CTPA, like Labworks USA. Being in a random testing program is just part of the compliance picture. When you're a new CDL holder, and even when you're just a student CDL holder, you must have a negative pre-employment test recorded. Also, if you have not been registered in a random program for 30 days or more, then you must take a pre-employment test and get a negative result before you can drive. There are also testing requirements for post-accident, reasonable suspicion, return to duty, and follow-up programs. So you can see how having a group of professionals like Labworks USA on your side is a really good idea. Let's see how the tests are conducted. For the random tests, the random selection is conducted by a computer-generated, truly random selection process, conducted by a third party that posts all selected drivers in a secure portal. The process ensures that all drivers who are subject to testing have an equal chance of being selected for testing, and the selection process is unbiased and cannot be influenced by supervisors, management, or Labworks USA. Each quarter, a new selection is made from all active drivers, and each designated employee representative and owner-operator receives an email notification from Labworks explaining the process, and a separate email from the lab with a link to pick one of 22,000 plus clinics all over the USA. So there's sure to be one near you for specimen collection. In your client portal on labworksusa.com, you can track all of your tests until there's a final result. Now let's hope that you or none of the drivers that you manage ever have to experience getting a positive result. But a positive test of any kind will result in immediate suspension of your CDL and referral for evaluation, treatment, and follow-up testing by a substance abuse professional, or SAP. Now, refusing to take any test or ignoring a notification that you have been notified of a pending random test will be reported to the FMCSA clearinghouse as a refusal, which is regarded as a positive test. Now, on top of that, a positive test can possibly lead to disciplinary action, including termination by your employer. Now remember, participation in the DOT FMCSA Random Drug and Alcohol Testing Program is mandatory for all commercial motor vehicle drivers who are subject to the federal regulations. Following the program's requirements is essential to ensure safety on the roads and to avoid disciplinary action, including fines and suspension. Stay safe on the roads and stay compliant with Labworks USA's DOT FMCSA Random Drug and Alcohol Testing Program. LabworksUSA.com, the simple solution.